I wanted to show sort of an intro to using Xarvis. So we end up on, if you go to jarvis.transio, you'll end up here on Connect. And then so you're just going to want to, sign in with Zum. It's pretty standard procedure for most of us. If you don't have Zum, there is you have to download it and integrate yourself with it. So once you're logged in, you're not going to see any playgrounds. The first thing you're going to want to do is just create a new playground. That's going to create a playground with a custom model. So we have what I call core models. Right now we have GPT-4 and 3.5 turbo. And then we have our custom models, and I'll create a little better thing where you actually just choose your custom model, because I think it's kind of stupid to open up the same one every time. But I want to do XRPL.js. The temperature I would not touch. You always want this to be 0 when you're looking for accurate information. And something that a lot of people don't get right is if you go to OpenAI Playground, temperature is 1. Right, so this is gonna guess a little bit for you. So if you notice my GPT model, I have a preset that just moves it to 0 and moves the tokens up a little bit. So be very cautious about that when you're looking for accurate information. But I'm just basically gonna take this example of someone's issue in Discord, and I'm gonna say, how do I fix the bad off air? And then I always tab down twice or enter down twice. Son of a bitch. And then it does take a second. So that is, not really much I can do. Maybe we can shrink some of these models down or training better. If you use GPT-3 Turbo, it will be much faster, but sometimes it's not as accurate. But so here we have a result, and we can see the error message seen. Bad auth typically indicates an issue with the transaction's authentication. Could be a number of issues, blah, blah, blah. Look down here. Check the secret you're using to sign the transaction, make sure it's correct and corresponds with the account you're trying to use. So this is most likely the issue, is that when you cultivated the transaction, you used an account, and then when you went and added your wallet into the sign method, you used a different one. So that's typically what you get. That's a good answer for me, and I think that's a good way to push somebody. But now we're gonna do one more, and this is a little more interesting. So I'm gonna ask it to make an example transaction. So make me an example transaction of a payment that uses multi-sign. Right? Now I want you to make up the signers, make up the destination, make up the account, use 100 XRP for the amount. Well, let's just try that. So now this is going to take a little longer because it's got to go gather a little bit more. This one, I've done this one before, and it does take a sec, so maybe I can talk about some of the other things. So indexes are basically either GitHub repos, URLs, or PDFs. You can create your own. You may run into some issues right now, but you can definitely try to create your own. When you do a GitHub repo, you actually have an opportunity to select which folders you want, and that's become really good because you don't want to index the entire thing because there could be a lot of junk files that don't really correspond. One thing I noticed with the SDK or the documentation is that for XRPL Dev Center is it actually adds its own docs onto that, and so I ended up looping through the same data, which was bad. So that's why I ended up adding in those folders. I do have the ability to do private repos. It's not like public. You can't see it. If you ran a local version, you would be able to show it. I'm not sure. It's not really battle tested yet, and I'd like to get a few more things going to make sure it's secure, that you're not just integrating your private library, and then it's leaked out. But we've got some information here, so it failed. So here's an example. It didn't use it. It didn't add the multi-signers. It just put in the signatures already. So I want to do a little more. So make me an example of a transaction of a payment that uses multi-sign. I need to make, oh no, what it needs to do is sign. I need to sign the transactions individually, and actually it should be, I need to set the signers list and sign the transactions individually. Make up the signers list, and then let's see what this does. And then index models are collections of indexes. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't. What I've found is the larger the indexes, the less it's able to connect. So if you have like 3 small repos, it's really good. But when the repos are a little bit larger, or the indexes are a little larger, it sort of like overwrites them. And so it's not able to grab that context data. So let's see here. Okay, we got something. So now this is what I wanted. So it generated the 2 wallets. It generated an empty payment transaction. It then signed each of them, added the signers, and then it didn't submit. I didn't ask it to. I can submit we should be a little more clear. So that's it. What's interesting is you still have to kind of know what you're doing. So if I go back up here and I need to set the signers list and submit, then I need to sign the transactions individually and submit. And we should probably say use testnet. Boom. Okay. So now let's see. What do we got? Let's try that again. I am thinking about adding in another feature. Well, one, I want to design it a little more like this, where you have system and then user and assistant. And then the other thing I want to add in is sort of prompts. So like one prompt could just be like sort of like fix this. And so if you like copy and paste code like I did here, like just fix this. What is this? Fix it. Or there's a better example with hooks. I have a full-on hook prompt that can pretty much build a hook, but you have to copy and paste it in, and then you have to edit your info. And it would be cool if that prompt was saved, and then the variables could be injected in. But that means I would have to have special fields, and that might be I guess I could do it: string, number, array, map. But it's more. So let's see here. Now we've got a main, and we've got definitely more, and it's submitting a multi-sign. So we've got our client. It generates 3 wallets. It looks like it's going to set the signers list, submits and waits. It cultivates the payment transaction for 100 XRP in drop. Oh, yep, in drops. Look at that. Oh, wait, is that right? That's awesome. That's cool. And then it signs it, sign, submits the multi-sign, and then disconnects. So I mean, you see how I had to walk it there, and I also had to know what XRPL is. And I think that's valuable for anybody, really anybody, because you can come here and you can start gathering contextual information to ask it the next question, So that's my little video. I do want to go live this weekend, maybe with some hooks. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you sign up. I'm going to leave it open for free. I use this every day, and I can't stress enough that I really think you should use it. It's going to help you, whatever you're doing. If you don't use that, use this, and then turn your temperature down and then save your template and use both of these together. You see, I got this one pinned, so use both of these together, and I definitely think you're going to improve your speed in which you're able to learn information. So thank you, and good night.